Malaysia is one of the countries that enjoy high ratings for ease of trading across borders. Even so, the country still poses barriers to its goal of becoming a free and open market. Malaysia is not a party to the World Trade Organization (WTO) Agreement on Government Procurement (GPA). As a result, foreign companies do not have the same opportunity as some local companies to compete for contracts. Malaysia has an export licensing system. In some sectors, Malaysia maintains tax programs that appear to provide subsidies for exporters. For your information, from 2008 to 2021, Malaysia's export activity data is unstable, with export value fluctuating from year to year. The highest export value in 2021 is $256.76 billion and the lowest export value is $184.9 billion in 2009. Typical annual export from Malaysia are between 20 to 250 billion $. From this, we can conclude that Malaysia needs to expand the types of goods that can be exported in order to attract international investors to buy Malaysian goods. According to the graph, the value of Malaysian export declined drastically in 2009, then increased again in 2010 and 11. The graph rose again in 2014 but fell rapidly in 2015 and 16. When the COVID-19 outbreak struck Malaysia, the value of export fell sharply from 2019 to 2020. Finally, when the pandemic recovered, the value of Malaysian exports increased and the graph improved in 2021. From 2008 to 2016, Malaysia's export activity as a percentage of GDP declined year after year. As we can see from the line graph, 2017 is different, with a slight increase in the line graph compared to previous years. However, the line graph declined again after 2017 and continued into 2020. But at the end of the day, the line graph shows a good positive impact from an increased share of GDP in 2021. According to World Trade Organization (WTO) statistic, China's export activity ranked first in the world, with an export volume of $3.55351 billion in 2021, far ahead of other countries. With an export value of $256.76 billion, Malaysia ranks 7th among the 10 countries on the list, after South Africa, Romania and Iran, whose annual export are between 80 billion to 150 billion $. Thanks to lower taxes paid to Chinese factory sellers, China has become one of the world's largest exporters. Therefore, top companies such as Apple and Adidas choose to produce products in China. The Malaysia must allocate sufficient funds and impose low tax rate on sellers to encourage creativity in its workforce when marketing its products overseas. What effect Malaysia export to decline? Global economic slowdown. A slowdown in the global economy can lead to a decrease in demand for goods and services, affecting Malaysia's export performance. Economic downturns in a major trading partners can reduce their purchasing power, resulting in reduced import volumes from Malaysia.
Economists say a slowdown is likely to impact certain sectors in Malaysia like electronic goods, metals and liquefied natural gas due to reduced demand. To compound matters, demand for commodities such as crude palm oil could also see a drop, making the agriculture sector vulnerable as well. Shankara Nambiar of the Malaysian Institute of Economic Research said a slowing economic growth in China could have a negative impact, especially on Malaysia.
Next is currency appreciation. If Malaysia currency appreciates significantly against the currencies of its trading partners, it can make Malaysian export relatively more expensive, leading to a decrease in demand. This is because a stronger currency makes export less competitive in international markets. Decline in commodity prices. Malaysia is a major exporter of commodities such as palm oil, rubber and oil and gas. Fluctuations in global commodity prices can have a significant impact on Malaysia's export earnings. A decrease in commodity prices can reduce the value of export. Supply chain disruption. Disruption in global supply chains such as natural disaster, political instability, or logistical challenges can disrupt production and hinder the export of goods. For example, disruptions in shipping or transportation infrastructure can delay or prevent the delivery of goods to international markets. Lastly is structural changes in the economy. Changes in the structure of the Malaysian economy, such as a shift towards domestic-oriented industries or a decrease in the competitiveness of certain export sectors, can lead to a decrease in overall export. Importance of export in Malaysia. First one is economic growth. Exporting goods and services stimulates economic growth by increasing the overall production and generating income for businesses and individuals. It creates employment opportunities and boosts various sectors such as manufacturing, agriculture and services. Next is foreign exchange earnings. Exports help Malaysia in foreign exchange, which is vital for stabilizing the country's currency, maintaining a favorable balance of payments, and strengthening its financial position. Foreign exchange reserve provides stability and confidence in the economy, enhancing competitiveness. Participating in global trade exposes Malaysian industry to international competition, driving them to improve their products, processes, and efficiency. Exporting encourages innovation, research and development, and the adoption of best practices. Foreign direct investment, or FDI. A strong export sector attracts foreign direct investment into Malaysia. Foreign companies are more likely to invest in countries with a vibrant export market, as it offers them access to a wider customer base and potential business opportunities. FDI brings in new technologies, expertise, and capital, fostering economic growth and development. Regional integration. Malaysia actively participate in regional integration initiatives such as the Association of Southeast Asian Nations or ASEAN and Free Trade Agreement FTAs.
Of course, very important, and it's been years in the making. It's now the largest free trade agreement in the world, and it seeks to do a couple of things. One of it is to reduce tariffs, and secondly is to promote greater interoperability in terms of the regulations and the software of trade, which facilitates trade.
Here we have distributed some questions about Malaysian export to the UUM students, and let's see what are their opinion on that question.
A trade surplus contribute to economic growth in a country. When there are more export, it means that there is high level of output from country factories and industrial facilities, as well as greater number of people that are being employed in order to keep the factories in operation.
Personally, I think the best alternative will goes to two things which are making exporting a part of our business strategy, and to carefully assess each of the markets that Malaysia are considering enter to. This is because export strategy should be based on assessment of Malaysia's position and research into promising opportunities. That's why expanding into new market involves a great deal of market research, in addition to target customer and sometimes understand people need.